I shouldn't have to point out that Angel Reese is actually a poor defender.
Let's talk about Caitlin Clark for a second. She's the first rookie in WNBA history to get 2 triple-doubles. That's legendary stuff.
Saying Angel Reese is better than Caitlin Clark is, though she can and she will steal the basketball. She's 15th in the WNBA in steals. Pretty good. Caitlin Clark is running away with the WNBA assists lead. She's 25 better than anybody else in the league.
But then Skip Bayless comes out saying he feels guilty for wanting to celebrate her. Why? You won't believe the reason. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great! Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Imagine this. Clark's on the court, and she's not just playing, she's dominating. She's dropping 23.9 points per game after the All-Star break. That's insane. And get this, she's also dishing out 9 assists and grabbing 5.5 rebounds. It's like she's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. You know what's crazier? Not everyone's happy about this. Someone's feeling guilty for cheering her on. Can you guess who? It's wild, right? Here's this rookie, breaking records left and right. And instead of just celebrating her talent, we've got drama. But why? What's really going on here? Let's dig into this mess. Remember when sports was just about skill? Well, Skip Bayless just turned Caitlin Clark's success into a racial debate. He's praising her skills, but struggling with her skin color? How did we get here? Skip Bayless, a big name in sports commentary, dropped a bombshell that's got everyone talking.
This is a very smart and very gutsy opinion, but I will admit it, Brittany, for the first half, maybe even 2/3 of the year, I had Angel over Caitlin for WNBA Rookie of the Year because of Angel's Rodman-esque rebounding. Never seen anything quite like it. She has run away with the WNBA rebounding lead, crushed the field in rebound.
He said he feels guilty for wanting to celebrate Clark's incredible performance. Can you believe it? A top athlete is breaking records left and right, and instead of cheering, we're dealing with this mess. So why is Bayless feeling guilty? He's worried about looking like a red state white guy cheering for this red state white girl. Those are his exact words, folks. He thinks Clark's become some kind of new right-wing symbol just because she's dominating in a sport where black athletes have traditionally shined. Bayless is walking a tightrope here. On one hand, he's blown away by Clark's talent. He's comparing her to legends like Larry Bird and Steph Curry. That's huge praise coming from a guy like Bayless. But on the other hand, he's freaking out about fueling any white supremacy narrative. It's like he can't just enjoy great basketball without worrying about politics. Here's where it gets really weird. Bayless says he didn't want to pour gasoline on the racial divide in our country. But isn't that exactly what he's doing by making such a big deal about Clark's race? It's like he's creating drama where there doesn't need to be any. But hold up, there's a twist. After all this hand-wringing, Bayless finally admits that Clark is colorblind good and apolitically good. What does that even mean?
Meanwhile, Caitlin, 2/3 of the way through the year, it was clear she was on an all-time record turnover pace, the likes of which I have never witnessed. It's almost like she was trying to turn the basketball over.
Is he saying her talent is so incredible that it transcends race and politics? Or is he just trying to have it both ways? This whole situation raises some big questions. Why can't we just appreciate an athlete's skills without turning it into a racial or political issue? Is this going to affect how people view Clark's career going forward? And what does it say about the state of sports commentary when praising a talented player becomes this complicated?
And for 2/3 of the year, Caitlin's three-point shooting ranked near the bottom of the league in percentage. You're right. The truth is, Angel's a poor shooter of the basketball. I don't know any other way to say it. She's just a poor shooter.
But here's where things get really complicated. Imagine being so good at your sport that your success becomes a political statement. That's the bizarre situation Caitlin Clark finds herself in. Why? It all comes down to basketball's unique place in American culture. You see, basketball isn't just a game. It's been a huge source of pride for the black community in America. Skip Bayless even said, "I know what a powerful point of pride basketball has been to the black community in this country." So when a white player like Clark starts dominating, it stirs up all kinds of emotions. Think about it. Clark's not just breaking records, she's breaking expectations, and that's making some people uncomfortable. It's like she's walking a tightrope.
She's now 38% from the floor, not from three. She's 2 of 12 from three. That's 17% on common shots from the field. 38%. That ranks 51st of 56 qualified players. Angel's team has now fallen to 11 and 22. So she isn't having nearly the impact.
Trying to balance her incredible talent with all these racial expectations that have nothing to do with her skills. And it's not just Clark feeling the heat. Her rivalry with Angel Reese has turned into this whole other thing. Reese actually said, "I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to it." She's talking about how Clark's fans and the media treat her. It's like their rivalry isn't just about who's the better player anymore. It's become this symbol of something much bigger. Now, you'd think everyone would just be celebrating two amazing athletes, right? But nope. Instead, we've got this weird situation where some black commentators are criticizing Clark, and white commentators like Bayless are tripping over themselves trying not to seem racist for praising her. It's wild when you think about it. Clark's out there breaking records left and right, and instead of just enjoying the show, everyone's worried about what it all means. Is she changing the face of women's basketball? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? And why can't we just appreciate her skills without turning it into a whole racial thing? This is the kind of stuff that can really mess with an athlete's head. Imagine trying to focus on your game when every move you make is being analyzed not just for skill, but for what it means about race in America. That's a lot of pressure for anyone, let alone a rookie. And here's the kicker. All this drama might actually be changing how people see Clark's career. Some folks might root for her even harder, seeing her as some kind of symbol. Others might root against her for the same reason. But either way, it's not really about her basketball skills anymore. It's about what she represents. You thought Caitlin Clark's story was just about breaking records? Think again. There's a wild controversy brewing, and it's turning her into something way bigger than just a basketball star. Clark's not just dominating on the court, she's now at the center of a media firestorm that's got everyone talking. Imagine being so good at your sport that your success becomes a political statement. That's exactly where Clark finds herself right now. She's not just facing defenders on the court, she's up against a whole new kind of pressure off it. And it all started with Skip Bayless dropping a bombshell. Bayless, known for his hot takes, went and made Clark's success about race. He said he felt guilty for wanting to celebrate her, worried about looking like a red state white guy cheering for this red state white girl. Can you believe it? He's comparing her to legends like Larry Bird and Steph Curry, but he's freaking out about fueling any white supremacy narrative. But here's the thing, Clark's not trying to be a symbol for anything except great basketball. She's out there breaking records, making history, and changing the game. She's the first rookie in WNBA history to get 2 triple-doubles. That's incredible. But instead of just celebrating her talent, we've got all this drama. And it's not just Bayless stirring the pot. Some critics are saying he's using white guilt to stay relevant. They're accusing him of being out of touch, trying to navigate a complex racial conversation for his own gain. It's like Clark's success has become this weird political football that everyone's trying to score with. But here's what's crazy. While everyone's arguing about what Clark represents, she's just out there balling. She's dropping 23.9 points per game after the All-Star break, dishing out 9 assists and grabbing 5.5 rebounds. That's not about race or politics. That's just pure talent. So what's the real story here? Is it about Clark's incredible skills on the court? Or is it about how we talk about race in sports? Maybe it's both. Maybe Clark's success is forcing us to have some uncomfortable conversations about expectations and representation in basketball. But let's be real for a second. Isn't it kind of messed up that we can't just enjoy watching a great athlete without turning it into this whole big thing? Clark didn't ask to be a symbol or a controversy. She just wanted to play basketball, and she happens to be really good at it. Here's the good news though. No matter what anyone says, Clark's talent speaks for itself. She's breaking records, changing the game, and inspiring a whole new generation of players. And that's what really matters, right? Let's talk about Caitlin Clark's unstoppable rise. This rookie isn't just good, she's breaking records left and right, over 60 of them in her first season. That's not just impressive, it's game-changing. But here's the real kicker. Clark's talent is so incredible, it's bringing people together. Remember what Skip Bayless said? She's colorblind good and apolitically good. That means her skills are so off the charts, they transcend all the drama and politics. And get this, WNBA games with Clark are pulling in huge audiences. We're talking numbers that can compete with NFL viewership. That's insane. She's not just changing how the game is played, she's changing how we watch it. You know what? Bayless got one thing right. Caitlin Clark isn't just changing the game. She's changing how we talk about it. And that's a win for everyone who loves great basketball.